I know we always harp on taking it one day at a time, one game at a time, but this coming 4 games on the road seemed to be the toughest stretch for you guys on the season. Do you look at it like that? And the most important, I guess?
Well, I mean, looking at the big picture, I'd say so. I mean, I think, and it happens for each team in the league. You go 4 games in a row on the road in your conference. It's brutal. It's hard to win on the road in conference play. So certainly be very challenging. But our guys just need to really be locked in on getting better these next 3 days in practice and having another good week of preparation and getting ready to play Jacksonville State on Thursday.
I know Jonathan Stark is really good at basketball, and that's an easy way to put it, but has he really, look at me at least, but in your eyes, has he embraced that 2-guard role, averaging almost 28 points a game?
Yeah, everyone keeps asking. He's not a 2-guard. He's a point guard. We just play 2-point guards. He's really been incredibly efficient offensively, whether it's catch and shoot threes that he's getting from his teammates, or creating his own shot off the dribble in some of our ball screen actions. He's been fantastic, but it's a great lesson. It's just a product of the work he puts in. I mean, the guy, he's unbelievable. Like, he scored 36 on Thursday night, and I get to the office first thing Friday morning, and he's already back in the gym. He played 38 minutes, scored 36 points, and he's already back in the gym working. Shooting and working on his individual skills. And then after practice that day, he stayed and shot again. And then after our team meeting that night, he stayed in the gym and shot again. And so there's a reason why he continues to keep getting better and play at such a high level. I think at Tulane, I believe he averaged around 1 made 3 a game at about 33%. And then his year and a half here is 43%. And almost 3.5 makes a game. So I think it's just all credit to the work he puts in and the time investment that he's made and will continue to make.
Byron Hawkins had his best game on Saturday since that season opener. You've talked about a lot this year about him finding confidence and just really needing to see one shot fall, and then everything's going to kind of fall with it. Is he hitting that point now?
Well, we hope so. He's a very good player. Went through a tough stretch there, battled illness, a couple different stretches that kept him out of a lot of practices. He lost some weight, but he's starting to look back to the player that we know he is. And as I reminded him last week, and I think I talked about it with you last week, Adam, too, is 2 years ago he was in the number 9 ranked league in the country on a 20-win team, and he was top 15 in that league in scoring and scored 28 points at Ole Miss and hit 7 threes. So, we know he's very capable and he's a very good player. And, I think he just struggled there with the illness, and then he didn't play well, and it got in his head a little bit. But I thought he looked terrific on Saturday night, not only shooting the ball, but was really aggressive, knifing through the gaps of the zone, got to the rim and finished some plays. And even through some of his struggles there, he's continued to be a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover guy, and has been solid out there on the floor.
From where he was before, that success he had in his previous school, how has he kind of handled this as far as, like you said, he's been sick a couple times, he is missing shots. How has he kind of handled that valley, I guess?
Right. Well, I mean, being honest, I think he really struggled with it there at first, but I think he's done a nice job of battling through and getting back to living in the gym and getting his confidence back and just going out and play. I mean, we're not very complicated in what we do. I just want him to go out and compete and play hard and be very unselfish on the floor, and he'll be just fine.
Talk about Jacksonville State. I know the loss to Tennessee State kind of took people by shock, but they have been solid in virtually every other game. Just address kind of what you're going to face Thursday night.
Well, very good basketball team, Neil, and reason they're picked up at the top of the league. They won the championship last year in the tournament. They've got great size up front. They are a dominant rebounding team, not just in league play, but on the national level. They are one of the top shot blocking teams in the country. So they have that size and physicality up front. And on top of all that, they have Drumright in their backcourt, who's been one of the top guards in our league for 4 years now. So they have very good balance there. So very, very good team. Will be a great challenge for us on Thursday.
Did they do anything better, in your opinion, this year than they did last year?
You know me, Neil, I'm terrible with comparisons year to year. I don't know. I think, a lot of those guys are returners.
Sure.
So just another year's worth of experience. But I think they're really good. I mean, I guess around 12-5, played some teams well in the non-conference and are off to a good start here in league play.
Do they do anything unusual tactically?
No, I think just, very physical team. They again, in the past, they have thrown a little bit of some junk defense at us, on Stark or a Miller. But, no, I think they're just very solid in what they do. They're a very good defensive team in the half court and they execute well offensively. So I think the balance is probably what makes them so good.
You guys obviously started off 4-0 in conference play. Those 4 games were at home. Now you guys have 4 road games coming up in conference. How important do you guys see this stretch, especially since these are some of the best teams in the OVC besides yourselves?
I think it's very important for us. We've been good on the road so far this year, and we want to continue that. Obviously, we're probably playing some better teams coming up, so we just got to really focus, lock in, prepare right, so we can go on the road and get some wins.
Both of you guys were obviously a big part of this team last year. You sitting and you on the team contributing with this same kind of road stretch last year. What do you guys see in this next 4 games, just from these opponents? I know you guys take it game by game, but as Adam just said, these are 4 of the tougher opponents in the league. What do you guys see ahead of you?
I feel like we just taking it game by game. I know we don't want to look ahead, but like our coach said, we're just gonna take it game by game. We're going to try to be the tougher team out there every night and just play our heart
out. Something that Coach McMahon has mentioned and others as well is the consistency of this team, that you guys have not let 1 loss become 2 losses and things like that. How do you carry that into one of the tougher road stretches of the season?
You just got to have the same mindset every time, and that's what Coach does a good job of, trying to make sure we have the same mindset and prepare the same way. And that's how you win and keep winning. Or if you do take a bad, like a tough loss, not letting that loss affect you to the next game to win.
Byron, on Saturday you put together, I guess your second best game of the season other than that opening game. What was it like for you to finally kind of get into that rhythm that you seem to be searching for?
I was just being aggressive and playing my game. That's all it was.
Has it kind of been frustrating? The season started off so well, and then you get sick a couple times, and you're just trying to find that shot. How frustrating has that been for you?
It's been frustrating, but I don't think I let it, knock my character or how I go about things. Coach has done a good job of making sure that he's still telling me, you're the same player we recruited you to be. You just got to go out there and play your game. So that's all it's been, and going forward, that's what I'm going to keep trying to do.
Now that you seem to kind of found your rhythm, this team has so many different weapons, and now adding you to that, how much do you think you can add to this team when you've already had so much success?
I just think it makes a very hard dynamic for our team. When I come into the game, if you have me, Stark, or whoever else the other guard is in the game, it's just kind of hard to lock in on something. You got to give up something at some point, that's going to lead me to be open if Stark's on fire. If I start getting it going and somebody else will get it going, it just makes it that much harder to guard us. I feel as though, when I'm playing well and being aggressive.
Breon, from an offensive and a defensive standpoint, you started to see an uptick as well, especially here in conference play. Where do you see your role right now, and how do you feel like you're filling it?
My role is, just doing all the little things, screening, finishing plays, making open shots, and, trying to get my guys the best shots they can off of my screens, rebounding and all that, just the tough plays.
Coach has often called you one of the best screeners he's ever seen. That's not a stat, though. It's hard to, I don't ever start a story with Breon Sanchez set 8 screens and the Racers won. But is that, how does that register in your mind when you sit back on the bench knowing you set 6, 7, 8 screens for your team to get open?
I mean, yeah, like the coach said, it's not a stat in the book, but I mean, I want to win and I want to see my team do good, so I like to set screens, get them open so they can be able to knock down the shots, get easier shots, so, put points on the board.